Fox 6 News. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Welcome into Weather Extra. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. We are talking about some more chilly conditions out there for tonight, but the weather's about to change. Unfortunately, the dry spell this go around, it won't last quite as long. We're going to have rain and even storms to talk about in the forecast. Let's get to a live look from Coleman right now, where it's 61 degrees. This is one area tonight where we could drop as low as 39. So yeah, tonight before you head off to bed, time to adjust that thermostat again. Get ready for some chilly conditions early on as we break down our weather headlines. Those showers coming back tomorrow night, and into Wednesday, some showers, possibly some afternoon storms. Hey, we've heard that before, right? Afternoon storms. You know, you start talking about afternoon storms, you're getting closer to summertime. Possible severe storms on Thursday. We'll need to watch out there for the risk of storms. Now, Thursday, it's April 27th. We're going to be talking a lot about that this week, 2011. Just want to point out that Thursday, I want to stress, not expecting anything like April 27, 2011. I know sometimes on social media things get shared. Just to let you know, even though we're going to be talking about the risk for some strong to severe storms, not expecting anything like what happened there in 2011. But you can see rain chances go way up, 60 to 70%. And then this weekend, Friday and Saturday, chance for showers, possibly a thunderstorm there over the weekend as well. We got some data gets rain out of here Saturday. Some data keeps the rain on Sunday. So we're going to be watching, still need to see some more data there. So watch out for some adjustments on that weekend forecast. But you see this evening dry in the 50s by 9 o'clock, overnight lows down into the mid 40s. But we've got the 7-day coming up, and we'll take you beyond the 7-day forecast coming up here on Weather Extra. And quite a geomagnetic storm impacting the globe yesterday. This had some big impacts on folks seeing the northern lights across the country, and we're going to explain a little bit more about those geomagnetic storms and how they impact satellite data, communication, radio signals. We go beyond the 7-day I mentioned, and also that chance for some storms, and looking back at some of the storms we had this past Friday and had a brief tornado in parts of the area. We'll explain why that happened coming up next.
We know weather can be grab the umbrella or jogging shoes, but it's so much more. It's a science, an art, led by knowledge and experience.
And no one has more of that than a WBRC First Alert weather team.
Warning you first with more hours committed to you. And the first forecast built to see weeks, days, and even minutes ahead, right down to where you live. From the team you trust on your favorite screen.
Doing the weather better. The WBRC First Alert weather team, always on your side.
Some people may think you're overreacting. Some may ask, is there a storm coming? That's okay, because knowing the first alert has helped you beat the rush. Being prepared puts you in control and changes the what if to you're okay. Knowing first is everything. First Alert Weather.
If you have plans for this weekend, we have a first alert for a wintry mix.
When you need to know next week, tomorrow, or even right now, the WBRC First Alert Weather Team is always on your side, whenever and wherever you need us. This is why we First Alert.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. We've certainly been no stranger to active weather lately. We had some storms move through Friday night, and though most were below severe limits, we actually had a brief tornado that struck Fayette County. We check in with meteorologist Matt Daniel to explain the science behind this phenomenon.
Did you know that we actually had a confirmed tornado last week, Friday evening? Yeah, we had some rain and storms move through. We weren't forecasting severe weather and really didn't see much in the way of severe weather, but there was a brief spin-up tornado in Fayette County, just to the north and east of Fayette. And this is right around 7:34 Friday evening on April 21st. So here's a look at that tornado that that struck this area just to the south and west of Piney Grove Church. It was an EF0. The National Weather Service surveyed the damage, reporting an EF0 with winds up to 80 miles per hour and a path length of only 2.28 miles and 125 yards. And this tornado was very weak. In fact, just from their storm survey summary, the damage path began just west of County Road 77 with minimal tree damage. And then they had several tree limbs were down, and then a couple trees were uprooted across a pasture as well. Along County Road 101 at Piney Grove Road, a few trees and tree limbs were down, with a small tree falling on a small detached carport, knocking it down. So mainly it was just trees that were knocked down in the area. When it came to this particular setup, we had a little bit of dynamics to create that brief spin-up tornado, but not enough to sustain it. And I mean, really in just one radar scan, you saw maybe a signature that was a little bit broad, and then afterwards it was gone. And so the National Weather Service actually did not warn this storm. There was no tornado warning because it lasted such a short period of time, and thankfully didn't cause any significant damage. But this is the radar from that storm, and if you just looked at this, you might say there may have been some rotation. It was hard to tell just based off of reflectivity, which is what you're seeing right behind me. But we were watching this around 7:30 to 7:40, and I'm going to show you another loop of this storm as well, just to give you an idea of what it looks. There's that rotation icon that briefly showed up on our radar, and then looking at the velocity, there's that little couplet that we're looking at, the green and the red, right around this area where that weak EF0 tornado formed. And based off this, it looks pretty broad, but definitely suspect at 7:35 Friday. And then when you looked at see if any of the debris was actually lifted aloft, this is what the debris tracker was showing. Mainly after 7:40 or so, we're seeing a little bit of debris lofted up, and of course that is just from the tree limbs and branches that were lofted up into the air that the radar was able to scan. So there you go. The Piney Grove tornado on Friday, April 21st, was weak, didn't last for long, and it was very small. Thankfully didn't cause any significant issues, but just want to give you that update from the National Weather Service as they conducted that survey over the weekend.
Thanks for that, Matt. Well, in more exciting news, certainly less destructive news, some of our northern neighbors in Kentucky and several other states got to see the northern lights last night. This picture is from Glencoe, Kentucky. The NOAA Space Weather Prediction Center says geomagnetic storms caused the northern lights to be visible in more than a dozen states. Love all the beautiful photos we've been seeing on social media. But also over the weekend, we had Earth Day, some spring cleaning in some Birmingham neighborhoods. Several Birmingham city councilors hosted cleanup events over the Earth Day weekend. Volunteers came to pick up trash, clean up walking trails, and plant a garden. Always happy to help out Mother Earth. But check this out. Down along the Gulf Coast, an unusual sight in Orange Beach last Thursday. Scientists say this 14-foot hammerhead shark washed ashore. The even more unusual thing, she was pregnant. They say she had 40 shark pups inside of her. Sadly, the shark was already passed away when she was discovered. Staff with a resources group called the large shark a rare find and a unique case study. Also unique, birds are falling out of the sky in Wisconsin. That's not a metaphor. They really are. It's a phenomenon known as loon fallout, which happens when rare weather conditions cause ice to form on the wings of migrating loons. Gordon Severson has details.
This loon here was found early Thursday morning in Wisconsin after falling out of the sky. The Raptor Education Group in Antigo, Wisconsin, says the bird has some internal bleeding but is getting better, and they should be able to release it sometime next week. The group has received 25 calls just like this since Wednesday, with 7 on Friday alone.
We have not received any calls here.
Natasha Bartolota with the National Loon Center in Cross Lake, Minnesota, says they haven't heard of any loons crash landing in Minnesota, but they're following the situation in Wisconsin closely just in case it starts happening here.
Definitely a concern when we first heard it, especially because loons really can't move around on land. Their legs are on the back of their body. They're really specialized for diving.
The Raptor Education Group believes the fallout was caused by atmospheric conditions over the Great Lakes, with cold temperatures and moisture causing ice to build up on the loon's wings.
Loons are already pretty heavy birds, and so the addition of ice on their wing feathers could further hinder their ability to fly.
Experts with the Raptor Education Group believe the weather event that is causing this has ended, but they are expecting a few more calls this weekend as people continue to find these loons out in the wild.
Hopefully it's not a continued problem, and hopefully the weather gets better for all of our sakes.
Part of the reason fallout impacts loons is because they fly at high altitudes. Experts want the public to know if they see a downed loon, the bird will definitely need help. They should call a professional rescuer. Coming up next on First Alert Weather Extra, we check back in with Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt to talk more about that threat for strong storms by the middle of the week. And I'll take you beyond the 7-day. We'll be right back.
Does your bathtub look like this? Are you constantly cleaning your shower, but the stains and discoloration just won't go away? Or maybe you're just hoping to freshen up your bathroom with something new and modern. If this is you, you may be planning on attending one of the local home shows. Well, stay tuned. Today I'm joined by Kirsten with a special announcement that's going to make the whole project easier and more affordable. Kirsten.
So Joe, we know that people are busier than ever right now. The last thing they want to do is spend hours of time on the weekend fighting traffic and all the long lines at the home shows. Well, to save time, folks should give us a call right now and get this limited time offer. We're taking 20% off all shower and bath projects, and we're offering some amazing financing. It's 12 months of no payments and no interest. That means you don't need to pay a penny on your project until an entire year after your installation is complete.
So you're saying if I start my project now, I don't have to put any money down, I get 20% off the entire project, and you're offering no payments, no interest financing for a full year. That's pretty incredible.
It really is. We understand that most people have a long list of renovations that they want to do around the house, so we're making it easier than ever to knock out that shower project right now.
That's fantastic. Well, Kirsten, how else are you making this whole project easy?
So Joe, people's biggest fear when doing a project like this is picking out something they're not going to be happy with. Well, we eliminate that fear by bringing the home show to you. When you give us a call, we'll send one of our shower and bath experts out for a free in-home design consultation. They'll bring an iPad and a sample kit to let you design the shower or bath of your dreams. Before the appointment is over, you'll see what the new shower will look like, eliminating all of the guesswork out of the project.
Kirsten, thanks. Folks, call the number on your screen right now to speak with a West Shore Home representative and to receive this limited time offer. Call in now to get 20% off your shower or bath project. Plus, they're doing 12 months of no payments and no interest financing. That means you don't need to make your first payment until 12 months after your installation is complete. Call West Shore Home now.
Well, a little bit cooler again tonight. We're going to have temperatures dropping into the 40s out there. We have a lot of 60s right now. Of course, no rain at the moment. A few high clouds starting to move in. Notice that as we look at that 24-hour forecast by 9 o'clock, we'll see a lot of 50s here on the map. Center, Gadsden breaking into the 40s again overnight. And temperatures, someone asked me a few moments ago, said, Wes, I'm in Jasper. Any frost out there tonight? We're not expecting frost in the morning. Lows in the 40s to start the day. It's going to be cold. You'll need the light jacket. It's sweater weather early in the day. But the rest of the day, we warm up into the 70s, so it's going to feel pretty good. You look at some of the model data, we see a little bit of green here showing up. This is just, when we show this is some of the model guidance that we utilize, but I can tell you it's so dry, a lot of that rain during the day is not going to have a big impact on us. I don't even think the rain's going to be able to reach the ground during the day because we've got to moisten up a little bit, and that's what's going to happen tomorrow night and into Wednesday. We start to see a little bit of shower activity late tomorrow night, so I think we're going to end up with a nice day tomorrow pretty much with those 70s in the afternoon. Feeling pretty good. Tomorrow night, evening plans, maybe going to watch the Barons. Nice dry weather conditions expected, but overnight, the wet weather, you can see there are a few showers possible into Wednesday morning, but even Wednesday doesn't look like a total washout. Right now, the way it looks, the afternoon, that's when we're going to have the greatest chance for wet weather. You can see some rain development, possibility of some storms. This model shows some wet weather moving in by 6 o'clock, another wave of rain, perhaps a thunderstorm, but we also have some high-resolution data that says we'll catch a break into the evening. So possibilities there is just going to be off and on Wednesday into Thursday. And watching watching Thursday for that risk of some strong to severe storms. It looks like a more favorable upper level support moves over the state. We're in kind of an active, what we call zonal flow out of the west direction. So we get these little ripples that move along, and that causes the enhanced chance of wet weather. Notice 2 o'clock on Wednesday, the storm energy, that sticky, muggy air starts to build north, and that's going to lead again to some scattered development on Wednesday. But notice on Thursday, those instability parameters a bit more favorable, so we'll really have to pay close attention to Thursday for the risk of some stronger storms, damaging wind gusts. We'll have to watch out there. Rain chances back off Friday, but then we see the rain chances pick up again over the weekend, Saturday into Sunday. It's still Saturday. The GFS model has the rain in here Saturday, but out of here for Sunday, and really doesn't show a lot of rain. But the European model, it wants to hang on to the wet weather and actually shows most of the rain coming in on Sunday. So bottom line on the weekend, there's going to be some rain at some point or a higher rain chance, but it's not a total washout. So do check in for updates as we continue to fine-tune the forecast. Kind of an active setup here, and you know, you're trying to look at all these separate rain chances. Right now we're still trying to kind of fine-tune Wednesday into Thursday as we bring in meteorologist Lauren Linehan. I guess sometimes, Lauren, it's like trying to look past one storm to see the other. Right now we're still trying to fine-tune Wednesday and Thursday, and then we'll have a better handle on Saturday and Sunday.
Right, exactly. The weather models, when they're ingesting that data, it helps if you already have a good handle on the upcoming storms versus the storms that are next in line. So we'll get this all worked out in the days ahead. Make sure, if you don't already, that you have that First Alert weather app downloaded. That's going to be essential in the days ahead. I just sent out an update about 30 minutes ago talking about those rain chances in the days ahead. But how about beyond the 7-day? What are we looking at? Obviously, you may have noticed a little cool outside this morning, a little chilly. And it's still going to be chilly tomorrow morning, but what does it look like generally 8 to 14 days from now? Well, I still see the general pattern over the next 2 weeks could support below average temperatures across Alabama. Now, does that mean there's going to be freeze and frost potential? No, but we may not be seeing temperatures in the mid-upper 70s as we normally would as we head into early May. Oh gosh, we're almost done with April. Hard to believe that. But as we look here at those temperatures, I mean, it's not a drastic contrast. We're talking the average high this time of the year, 77 degrees. So it looks like we could be a little bit below that, low 70s, potentially even 60s going into next weekend, that being the first weekend of May. That would be Cinco de Mayo, and the day after that, Saturday, maybe seeing a little cool down in the forecast. And looking at those potential low temperatures in the days ahead, seeing a good stretch of 40s. And just for perspective, our average low temperature this time of the year is 55 degrees. So 40s possible next week and potentially all the way into that first weekend of May. But I'm still not seeing any major frost or freeze potential. We'll keep an eye on that first weekend of May and we'll keep you updated. But in the meantime, as far as where we could see potentially above average rain chances, it looks like the southern half of Alabama could be seeing that as we look over the next 2 weeks. But that doesn't necessarily mean us here in central Alabama, so we'll keep an eye on things. Here we are next Tuesday, which apparently will be May by then. The first day of May is going to be on Monday of next week, and then here we are Tuesday, May 2nd, showing again a bit of a dip in the jet stream. You see a storm system developing in the Gulf of Mexico. That stays to our south. Here we go Wednesday the 3rd, still showing a cloudy pattern around, but not really seeing anything in the way of a storm system for us next week, so potentially staying drier. But you'll notice that we see these little disturbances moving along the Gulf Coast. That lines up with that precipitation outlook showing that better chance of rain would possibly be across the southern half of Alabama. Then here we go into the first weekend of May, showing a mostly cloudy sky that Saturday, still a little bit cooler than average, then maybe warming up that Sunday, and maybe tracking some rain by the end of that weekend. But generally, I would say as we're looking at the 7-day forecast and beyond the 7-day, it looks like maybe next week won't be quite as active as this week. I don't know about y'all, I just love a quiet, sunny day, and it's always nice when that happens on the weekend, right? So we'll be fine-tuning these weekend rain chances, but coming up next on Weather Extra, we'll take a final look at that 7-day forecast, and got some cute animals to show you that went a little wild somewhere in the U.S. We'll be right back.
We heard the first alert. Mom says we have to go. She says I don't have time to grab any more toys.
Need to be in your tornado safe place. Get there right now as you have.
We have to get to our safe place because sometimes when you hear the siren, it's too late. That's why she says knowing first is everything.
We know weather can be grab the umbrella or jogging shoes, but it's so much more. It's a science, an art, led by knowledge and experience.
And no one has more of that than a WBRC First Alert weather team.
Warning you first with more hours committed to you. And the first forecast built to see weeks, days, and even minutes ahead, right down to where you live. From the team you trust on your favorite screen.
Doing the weather better. The WBRC First Alert weather team, always on your side.
The first alert is more than a warning. It's a promise. A promise to get you out of harm's way with plenty of time to spare. 4 walls and a roof can be replaced. Lives can't. That's why knowing first is everything. First Alert weather.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. San Francisco is known for many things: the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, but goats, not so much. Even so, a herd of goats made their great escape in the busy streets of San Francisco last week. And as Dion Lim reports, it was all caught on camera.
Check it out. Dog walker Stephen Hing shared this video with us, which shows one of his client's dogs whining and whimpering while walking near Francisco Park on Thursday afternoon. Turns out it was at the site of these working goats blocking traffic along Bay Street and even stopping at a stop sign. The herd of about 35 from City Grazing were clearing poison oak and invasive plants from the park when an unknown person cut a hole into their enclosure. Genevieve Church with City Grazing says the goats then became agitated and confused, making their way down toward the water, then back up the hill again. She thanks the city's Parks and Rec Department and SFPD for their help. Since the organization uses rewards-based training, an employee of City Goats was able to lure the herd back to safety with a bale of hay. We're told the goats are all healthy and happy and were spotted Sunday relaxing in the sunshine.
Well, maybe next Sunday, once we get this rain out of here, we too can relax in the sunshine with a fresh bale of hay. Doesn't that sound exquisite? But tomorrow we'll have some more sunshine. It's still going to be cool in the morning, so you'll want that light jacket before you walk out the door. Temperatures could potentially get in the upper 30s across North Alabama, but back in the 70s tomorrow afternoon under a partly cloudy sky. And then we've got a chance of some scattered thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon, potentially some rain showers across North Alabama during the morning. And then we'll watch for some strong storms developing at times on Thursday before we see a few lingering showers on Friday. As Wes was mentioning, that weekend rain chance, there's more questions than answers right now. We know we're going to see rain at some point over the weekend, just can't really pinpoint when exactly that's going to be just yet. Because like you said, we got to get this first system out of here, and then we can focus on that one. But regardless, just plan for some rain around at times over the weekend. Doesn't look like it's going to be a washout. Check back in with Wes tonight on First at 9 for an update on that 7-day forecast. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Have a safe and happy Monday evening.